Hello! So, Eastward Octopia is now available for Nintendo Switch and for a cheap price. $6. I was actually surprised at the price. I thought it would be more expensive, but hey, a good deal considering what we get. So this is more than a DLC. Well, it's actually kind of a whole new game that differs significantly from the main game. We now leave what was and instead play a farming sim that is more reminiscent of games like Stardew Valley. Yeah, the similarities are many. And this is definitely a recommendation to all those who love cozy games. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. I review new games every week. What's really cool about this game is that you basically build a community. You start with 2 hands, a few tools and a house that has seen better days. And your task will be to create a thriving society that attracts the strangest of characters and at the same time expand your farm. You have to build new buildings, get more arable land, new machines and take care of different animals. But let's go through the tools. First you have a hoe, which is used to plant seeds. The seeds can be bought in a nearby store and you sow right outside your house. Then you use an axe to chop down trees and rocks, a bit of a multi-tool. There is also a fishing rod that can be used in most bodies of water. It's actually a minigame where you put out your bobber and wait for the fish to bite. Then you have to chase the fish until you can pull it in. Pretty fun game that contributes to a varied gameplay. It can actually get a bit monotonous just walking around chopping down wood and stone. But the combination of the fishing game, sowing and harvesting crops and gathering materials makes this feel sustainable. However, I would like to point out that experienced farming players will hardly be surprised. We've seen most of it before. However, there is a fourth way of playing that is relatively different to what you otherwise do in the game. I really don't want to spoil what it is though, but it's different from harvesting, fishing and animal husbandry. But what drives the game forward and can really be seen as the most important aspect of the game is all the cooking. In order to attract new residents to the community and be able to progress in the game, you often have to cook food that the residents request. In the beginning, it is quite simple. They mostly want food that is easy to cook and requires simple ingredients. But later in the game, it gets more complex, and they want food that is harder to create. So the game has a relatively good difficulty curve where everything gets more challenging as you go. There is also a quest board where you can upgrade buildings and open up new areas. At the beginning of the game, everything is worn and run down, but when you earn money and collect enough materials, you can gradually see how the village goes from a worn out society to a flourishing one. Pretty fun actually to see how things change over time. The control is generally easy to handle. Using John and Sam and their tools works well. The minigames are also well designed and easy to control. What I found a bit annoying though was that all the menus were scattered all over the place. You press L to see your cookbook, minus and plus to bring up overall menus, and R to see your inventory. It took me a while to get used to it. I haven't found any setting where you can change the control scheme, so you have to get used to what you get. So what are we actually getting with Eastward Octopia? We get a cozy adventure where we create our own little community. You start small but can gradually expand and see how everything grows the more you play. Additionally, you can unlock new locations that definitely give the game a certain exploratory aspect. The game is also bursting with small cutscenes that enhance the whole experience. There are a lot of characters that are introduced and most of them need help with something, and the dialogues often have a light tone, which is in line with the game in general. As I said, it's a cozy game. Overall, the game flows well. I've had occasional crashes that unfortunately came at the wrong times. It's extremely annoying to collect tons of material and then watch the game crash. However, there is an autosave feature, which means that you rarely have to redo much, but if you are unlucky, a crash occurs when you've been very active. It's sad if that happens. I've also noticed that the game lags if it's raining. All the better it doesn't rain particularly often, so overall it's less of a problem. So my conclusion is that this is a game that definitely deviates from the original, as it's more like a farming sim than anything else. We have seen a lot before with recurring concepts such as fishing, harvesting and animal husbandry, so basically it's not an innovative adventure. But as a whole, this is still an entertaining game, as the progression from small to big can be seen as the game's great asset. And also $6 in Nintendo's eShop, a pretty good deal in my opinion. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, I review new games every week. Have a good day, see ya!